One day we're going to start this podcast without the niceties. One day we're going to start this podcast without the niceties. We're going to get into the smoke. Me. Got my mic right? All right, cool. Mike. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, what we came to do. I know you guys is watching us at home. You guys sitting back like a Mac. You get what I'm saying? And we're gonna have a conversation tonight. We're gonna spice it up per usual. You know, I got Clubhouse with me, heavy on that. I got Instagram with me, heavy on that. I got the Giants and viewership on YouTube. What up, though? I see you, Lolo. You heard me? What up, though? Send those super chats through. You heard? Tap in with us. Tonight's gonna be dope, man. I got a dope conversation I want to have with you guys tonight. It's gonna be spicy. I can promise you that. It's gonna take a few twists and turns. I can promise you that. While I get the wind beneath my feet over here on my side. Oh man. I had a great weekend. Let me start there. Let's start there. Okay. I had a great freaking weekend. Let's take that off and bring this up here. I had a great fucking weekend. And one of the reasons why I had a great weekend, shout out to the YouTube community. Tap in with us. Clubhouse. Allison, can you pin the link to the top, please? Thank you. To the YouTube. Matter of fact, I'll do it. I'm probably able to do it faster. Oh, look at you, Allison, being quick with it. You know, oh, man. All right, so look. Just to be clear on a few things, I had an amazing weekend. Me and my guy D was able to bust it up a little bit. You get what I'm saying? What up, D? How was your? Oh, D's on the phone. He can't hear. He can't vouch for any of these things. How was you guys' weekend? Clubhouse, tap in with me. How was your weekend? Lolo, how was your weekend? Tell me. Go for it, Allie.
I had a really good weekend. I actually just came back a couple of days ago. I was out the way, traveling on vacation. So it was beautiful. I was in a whole different time zone. I was away from everything. I got some new ink. I saw family. I saw friends. So it's good to just be present and
good.
put the phone down. Yes.
Yeah. I can concur.
So I had a good time. Yes.
I love it. Shout out. Ashley, how was your weekend, Ash Cash?
Hey everybody, so my weekend was busy but productive. So anytime I'm making money, life is always amazing.
Wake that one all the way up. Hello?
Wake that up.
She said anytime I'm making money. I know that's right, honey. Landria, how was your weekend, Queen?
It was amazing, y'all. I graduated with my doctorate this weekend.
Hello, nurse. Well, I
All
don't know.
that school, Dr. Boo.
So wait, what is it now? Dr. what?
Dr. Boo. Just call me Dr. Boo.
Dr. Boo, I know that's right. Monique, feel free to pull up. Dave, how was your weekend, King? Congratulations again, Landria.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations, Lungi, on your doctorates. That's amazing. I know it's a lot of work you put behind that, so it's good to, celebrate and just reflect on all the hard work you put into that. On Broadway, my weekend was relaxing, man. The Mets, they disappointed me. They put all that work in to have such a good year, and then they collapsed. So. Yeah, that's how I felt. Yeah, that's a fact. The Giants won. They had an early game, so I was happy about that. I got a lot of rest. Sometimes I underestimate the value of sleep. I had a stressful week with work, and and it just felt good to just really rest the last few days. And I had off today, so I was just well rested, recharged, and refreshed. So it's good to be in your room. I haven't got to listen to your pod on a Monday in a while. But it's good to be back, and glad to see you doing your thing.
Shout out to my guy, D. Lopez. What up, Naomi? Mark, I see you. Lolo said my weekend was great. We had family. We had a family barbecue. Got to see my son, family I haven't seen in a while. I love it. It was wonderful. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Lolo. Listen, on YouTube, we got a few different things happening. If you haven't been able, if you can't tell, make sure you guys hit that super chat. Please hit that link. Let's make this chat a little colorful on YouTube. Send us your super chats. Tap in with us. Instagram. Y'all know how to tap in with us. Send that Cash App. Support the show. Support the show so that we can keep doing this and having a good time as a byproduct of doing it. Also, as a way of showing your social currency, simply hit the like button. Hit the like button. You hear me? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. You get me? So, like I said, I had an amazing weekend. I'll get into that a little bit later, but I want to talk about what we came here to talk about, right? We came to talk about looks can be deceiving. I'm gonna play a video for you guys tonight, right? And what's going on in this video tonight is a young lady. Let me set the tone, set the stage. Hey, Amy, a young lady. I'm sorry. If you guys want to be brought up to the stage, I see y'all in Club 112. Where the players dwell, how D would say. Monique, I see you guys. Daniel, Queen, I don't know how to say your name. I don't want to mess it up, but please feel free to pull up or add your commentary to the group chat down below. So a young lady jumps on her phone, right? And she puts out this video. I think the video is freaking amazing. And I want us to have a conversation about it, right? It pretty much states where looks can be deceiving. You get me? A lot of times we have different types of men, different types of women, you know, and what I want to do is start things off with simply asking a few of you guys randomly, what's your type? And I'm going to start with Kyle. What up, Kyle? Welcome to the stage, Kyle. Welcome to Live on Broadway podcast. What's your type, Kyle?
My type. Let's see. Good question. Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
That's a tough one because a lot of times you don't really know what you really need at that moment. Because I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't really had like too much experience with a lot of solid relationships, so I don't really even know what it's like to feel love in a relationship. So I can't really say, all right, I want a woman like this or I want a woman like that because, I spent most of my time getting money and doing stuff like that. My relationships actually fell apart because of where my focus was at. But now that I'm at the point where I can nurture a relationship, it's like I'm actually learning that part of me, so. And I feel like a lot of people battle with that too. We like to come up with these ideas and these unrealistic expectations, but we don't even know what we want until we get it. So to be real with you, I'm just you know.
So here's the thing, right? I think you're answering a question. I'm asking you what's not based on the time, right? Not based on the time and where you at. What do you simply like, right? Not the whole duration. Like, what do you like right now in your life? What do you like? Ash Cash, what's your type? Like right now, if you had to tell me, describe what's your type, how does that look right now for you?
Ooh, it will be somebody that is ambitious. Like I love a man that is ambitious. You talking about something that turned me on? A man that is ambitious, that
Got it.
knows what you want and that's gonna go after it.
Got it. YouTube viewership. Lolo, Trace, what's your type? Jump in that comment section. What's your type? Hit that like button. I need to know what's your type. I'm going somewhere with this. Let's see. Let's get it from D Block. D Lopez, what's your type, beloved? Oh, your service is nervous. Whoa. Hold on, D Block. D Lopez, your service is very, very nervous. Give us a second. Try it now.
Yeah, can you hear me? I do have the red bar. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Do you? All right, awesome. I don't know. At this stage of my life, I just like a woman that's supportive. Obviously, you want to be attracted, but somebody who's supportive emotionally, that's stable financially, and mentally. And we could build together. We could travel together. We could, go to shows together. And also ambition, like the young lady was saying, ambition is important. Someone who's ambitious within herself, but also could push you, and you could push each other to be greater. So that's what I look for at this stage of my life. Looks are important, but they're not everything.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm picking up what you putting down.
So you know what? All right, let me piggyback off of that honestly, because when it was a kind of off guard type of thing.
I
So
got you, baby.
I would actually like a woman that's cooperative. Just to be real,
Wake
because
that all
I
the
feel
way
like
up.
you know, cooperation and communication.
Mm. This is gonna get. I'm telling you, this is gonna go somewhere real fast. I promise you. All right, so look, let's do this, right? I'm gonna play this video for you guys. If you guys want to see it the way it's meant to be seen, go over to YouTube, Broadway the Giant, YouTube, Broadway the Giant, YouTube, Broadway the Giant. Tap in with us. Tracy said her type is boar head, manicured nails, maintained beard, slightly tatted, or his teeth. All right, I'm here for all that. You preaching to the quiet. Hello? We gonna wake that up too, Trace. Listen, tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. Veronica, what's happening with you, Queen? Go to my YouTube, tap in with us, show your social currency, because we about to get into some shit. Tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. Check this out.
How black educated college men act like they too good to date. A lot of
Finally, someone has said it and worded it way better than I ever could have, because I have been saying.
I'm telling you again, before we continue on, if you want to see the video the way it's meant to be seen and heard, go to my YouTube, Broadway the Giant. Tap in with us. Let's run it back.
How black educated college men act like they too good to date. A lot of
Finally, someone has said it and worded it way better than I ever could have, because I have been saying this with my best friend for the longest now, to where it's like, if you look a certain way, it's like these men act like they are just like, it's always this certain look of female that they'll actually date and wife, because I guess they attribute it to like, oh, nice girl next door looking, like she won't possibly do this or that. She looks good on paper. I can bring her around family, this and a third, and she has the look. She has a very safe look. And myself and my best friend always talk about the fact that we feel as though, because we have tattoos, I'm very tatted. Y'all can't see it now, but I have a lot of tattoos. Because we are tatted and have more of like a...
Hold on. Let's hold that right there. Because we got some unpacking. We got Queen Veronica up here. What's happening with you, V? How you feeling? Hi. I can hear you. Oh, wait. No, wait. Give me 1 second, V. Give me 1 second here. I apologize. Let me get this up here for her so that we can hear her the way we need to hear her. I apologize, guys. That's totally on Broadway. And now we should be able to hear her the right way. Let's try it now. I'm sorry, Queen. Can you hear me? Oh, no, we still can't. We still can't hear her. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. All right, tap in with me. Allison, looks can be deceiving. How you feel about that? What she said, what the young lady just said a second ago.
I feel like so many things that can be unpacked from that, but you just can't judge. You have to know your lane and stay in it, if that makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Sometimes you just have to wait and see, in a way, because I also have tattoos, and a lot of people don't necessarily think that I will react or do or say certain things, but then I do, and they're shocked, and I'm like, well, I mean, what did you expect? So you definitely cannot judge.
Can't judge. All right. Let's bring this back a little bit.
She won't possibly do this or that. She looks good on paper. I can bring her around family, this, and a third, and she has the look. She has a very safe look. And myself and my best friend always talk about the fact that we feel as though because we have tattoos, I'm very tatted. Y'all can't see it now, but I have a lot of tattoos. Because we are tatted and have more of like I'm not gonna say like, I'm trying to find the right way to say it. I don't know. Anyway, because we don't have that girl next door look, men consistently try to fun girl us. These college educated men, it's always them. Like when it comes to like they always assume that we only like hood guys.
She said the college educated guys fun girl her. I'm gonna let this play. I promise you I am.
Guys that they assume that they know our type, fun girl us. These college educated men, it's always them. Like when it comes to like they always assume that we only like hood guys, that they assume that they know our type, and they don't even give us a chance. Because me personally, I like college educated men. I went to college and that's just what I like. I like nerds. I like fine nerds. I like squares. But these men always assume that my type is like, oh, I see she's tatted. She like hood niggas. That's like, and I'm just like, why do y'all keep doing that? And
let's freeze frame right there, because I have something I want to talk about right now. Shout out to Tracy. Shout out to Tracy T for the super chat. Appreciate you, Queen. We're going to get some music up here. We're going to celebrate the super chats as they tap in. Shout out to Tracy for the super chat. Make sure you guys tap in. Shout out to Tracy. We appreciate the super chat. Whenever you hear that fire sound, that means they tapping in with the super chats. I appreciate it. So look, what up though, Dat? Here's the thing, right? She's saying pretty much, and I'm going to get into playing the rest of the video, but she's saying pretty much that men fun girl her and they base how they feel about her and draw a conclusion to her type, to what her type is, right? Because she's light-skinned girl, she got tats, she looks a certain way, she must like the bad guy. She must like a bad dude. You get what I'm saying? The bad boy. You get me? So let's open up the floor a little bit before I continue to play the video. And I want to get it from you guys. How do you feel? I want to see you guys in the chat on YouTube. I want to see what's happening right here on Instagram. Tap in with us, live on Broadway podcast. How you guys feel? Is there any truth to this?
I think that everything is trial and error. I get what she's saying about the men wanting maybe something cookie cutter, but I think that everybody wants something cookie cutter later on, because as a woman, I wanted somebody rough and tough when I was, in my, late teens, early 20s. And then as soon as I realized that mentality just didn't work, like that type of man was always doing me dirty. Like even though I was holding him down or something, he just wasn't doing me the way I wanted him to do me. Then I was like, you know what? I want a square. I want a nerdy dude.
So you want a man that can do you the way, just, I'm going to leave that alone. Go ahead. Carry on.
No, I'm like, I want somebody, that, can be emotionally sound with me and, be stable enough to make decisions and, do right by me. And I feel like the caliber of guy that I was looking for in the beginning, he could not do that for me. Like he was worried about being out there in the world and doing, God knows what, and then had nothing left to give to me. And I feel like, sometimes when we get caught up in that world, then we have this type of demeanor. And then maybe sometimes the college educated men don't want us because at how we were at that time in our lives, if that makes sense. Like,
sure,
we weren't emotionally available because we were searching for something different in the beginning. And now that we are where we are now it's like, okay, well, I want this type of guy, but it might not have been the type of man you were looking for at that time frame. So,
got it. Anybody want to add on to the back of that? I see Trills on the comments. I see Terica. Terica said, what up, though? I'm well, Queen. Trillion said, I don't like rough men. She said, I will lose interest. She said she will lose interest. How do you guys feel? I mean, do you guys want to add anything on to the back of what Longtria, to what Trills is saying? All right, cool. Let's
I mean,
go for it.
for me, I've dated the athlete, I've dated the thug, I've dated the nerd, and it's just, to me, it's based on a person's character. It's based on how he or she will treat you. Does he have any ambition? Like, what is his focus? What is his goals? Um, Long story short, and just to sum it up, it really doesn't matter the type of person. It's based on who they are as a person. So we just have to be cognizant of what we want and what we don't want, and then we'll find the right person for us.
So what you're saying is a lot of times people aren't cognizant of what they want versus what they don't want. And that just leaves them in disarray and just being out here for the streets. Got it. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
So here's the thing, right? Let me play the rest of this video because I got some stuff I want to talk about. You know what? Let me ask you guys now. Fellas and ladies the same. What kind of woman would you date? Is there any type of woman that you wouldn't date? You get what I'm saying? Like, is there any type of woman you wouldn't date? Is there any type of man, ladies, you wouldn't date? Just based off of how it looks. How it look. Because, all right, so here's the thing. I feel like we package things up and we are afraid to, you see, do anybody have an answer for that question? Because I have a lot to say, but I need to get through the rest of this video before I actually say it. All right, cool. We're going to play this video. Let's continue to rock on.
And then now we keep doing that, but then you keep trying to put us in this fun girl category. And the fun girl is this category where it's like, I enjoy having fun with you, but I would never wife you. You don't have the look of somebody that I would consider a wife. And it's like, what does a wife look like? Because just because somebody looks like your girl next door does not mean she's a good person. It's not mean that she's automatically educated.
I know that's right.
Me personally, in a nice way, I make a lot more than a lot of the girls that they consider like, oh, like successful and stable and have like this great image. But I don't work a job that is like conventional to where it's like, oh, well.
Freeze frame on that for a moment. Because if you can't tell, I got to zoom in a little bit, but she said, but they can't brag about my job. But she said, but they can't brag about their job to their mom because it's not conventional. It doesn't fit into the image. You can be a successful tattoo artist, MUA, bartender, etc. But they can't brag about those things to mama. I just want to, because if you're not watching it the way it's intended to be watched, or you listening to the podcast, that's some words are popping up on the screen. Tap in with us. I'm going to carry on.
That is like conventional to where it's like, oh, well, I can brag about what kind of job she has. So they just always want to fun girl me. And I'm tired of people assuming that I like a certain type of guy and wanting to fun girl me, because personally, I want a family and commitment and a relationship and all of those things. I want to get married. And I'm tired of people assuming that because of my look that I'm a fun girl. I know how to have fun, but don't stop fun girling me.
All right, cool. I appreciate you guys sitting through that. So here's the real talk, right? Are you able to, just because a dude is all tatted up, does that make him a bad boy? Just because a woman may go get her body done, does that make her a bad bitch? You get what I'm saying? Like, let's have this conversation. Let's talk about this. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a lot going on outside no man is safe from. And a lot of it entails It has a judgment context to it, right? And what that sounds like is a lot of times, I like what she said, and just in case you guys can't tell, I'll be clear on it right now. I'm siding with her. I'm definitely siding with her. Because here's the thing. I feel like I'm her. You get what I'm saying? I feel like to some degree, women, they judge me. You get what I'm saying? They see me, they see a lifestyle, they see certain things, they get an idea of who I am on social media, and they think that that's it. You get what I'm saying? They think that that's where the bus stops. And for me, I feel like a lot of times I don't judge people because I know unless you up close and personal and you trying to get to know, it's hard to judge something that you don't know. You get what I mean? So I want you guys to tap in, share some stories of where you may have been judged or a time where you judged something and you may have been wrong by way of judging it, right? Looks could be very deceiving. She said, I like college-educated men. I like college-educated men. But something also tells me that there's a little bit of edge with her too, right? There's a little bit of edge to her. And it's not the tattoos. It's the fact that she's in tune with her emotions. And when you're in tune with your emotions, you tend to be vocal about that. In my experience, I'm just speaking of my experience. When you're very in tune with your emotions and how you feel, a person just can't get off any shot with you, right? They just can't do anything to you, right? They just can't, because you're very knowledgeable on who you are, what you are, and what makes you feel a certain way. So you share that, right? So I want to get it from you guys. Giants, tap in. Clubhouse, Instagram, YouTube, tap in with us. Facebook, you watching us on Facebook, tap in with us. If Facebook is your preferred platform, Broadway, the Giant, one word. Broadway, the Giant, one word. We are streaming live on Facebook at the same time. Tap in with us, though. How you guys feel about what I said, what the young lady said? Dad, I would love to get your POV, DWI. You guys been MIA. Tap in with us. How you guys feel?
I got you, Broadway. So come off as the antagonist and the protagonist in this situation. But I'm gonna speak from a personal perspective in both. All right, so I understand what she's saying, but at the same time, we've lived in society, right? We grew up in society. Although the internet era is having a lot of things changing, there are still things that have been in place since way before our existence. Understanding when you're talking about parents and not being able to bring somebody home or tell them what somebody does, if you're raising your children one way, we always knew like that bad boy image or the bad girl image. We always knew that that was a thing growing up in society. We knew that tattoos meant this or this scars meant this and all of this other stuff. We already knew that, right? So if we go head on and want to indulge in that type of lifestyle and we don't think past, us trying to be professionals in the future and things like that, we run the risk of bringing all of that on ourselves. Now, there's nothing wrong with you wanting one type of lifestyle or you wanting to be, wanting what you want. There's nothing wrong with that because everybody wants that. But you got to understand that we live in a judgmental society, period. You're going to be judged by everything that you do, everything, the way that you look. So putting yourself in that position, like you're saying, the women with the bodies and all of this other stuff like that, what do we have to attribute that to? Like, everybody want to be this Instagram model and everybody, that's what you're going to correlate what you're doing with. You're trying to be this, even though you're trying to be yourself. You could be being yourself by doing these things, but you put yourself in a category when you do certain things. Face tattoos and all of that. I don't care how corporate you are or want to be, you pigeonhole yourself by doing that because society deems those things to be one way. Now,
so are you saying are you saying a woman that walks down the street with a short dress and dudes start cackling at her, she solicited that?
So I'll just go back to Dave Chappelle when he said what he said. Now, I'm not saying it's right. You have the freedom to wear what you want to wear. But if you pacing up and down a block with some skimpy clothes on, society says that women that do that is, you know what I mean, okay? So if pardon the person who mistakes you for being what you're not at that moment. Dave Chappelle said, hey, listen, and when he said in his comedy special, he said, If somebody say he walking down the street with some clothes on, a police uniform on, and somebody stops him because a crime is being committed, be like, hey, officer, he be like, just because I'm dressed like this don't mean I'm a cop. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's a two-way street on how you want to look at things like that. But no woman should have to go through that, period. But sometimes you have to be accountable because you open the door to certain types of behavior. When you do wear skimpy clothes or walk around with your ass out, you want to be seen so people want to look at you. Now, back to the point of the judgment thing, I got scars on my face, Broadway. I'm college educated. I have a master's degree. I sat in the seat as a CEO of a company where I'm doing business deal and things of that nature with major Fortune 500 companies, right? And they see this stocky dude with scars on his face. Do you know what I went through all my life by dealing with that as an adult? Because what is the first thing people assume when they see me as a black man with scars on my face and my size? Yeah, he did a stretch. He did some time in jail. They don't look past that to see or to get to know who I am before I open my mouth. They already prejudge me, right?
Absolutely.
Now, these are things that I don't have the tattoos. I have tattoos, but I don't have the tattoos on my hands and face and all over my body for you to actually see them. I was cognizant of that when I did get tattoos. But I still go through the same thing in that regard. But these weren't my choice. You understand what I'm saying? These things that I have to go through with the judgment isn't my choice. That's a choice. And when you make that choice understanding what society says about it. But you know what you say? I'm my own person. I'm my own individual. And I don't give a F what society has to say. I want what I want. But when you do that, you can't be mad when people look at you in a certain way. Like, people prejudge you.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at that if you put yourself in a category. And I park.
Tap in. How you guys feel about it? Tap in. DWI, I'm coming to you, King.
Yo, what was the last question that you were just asking?
How
Or
do
were
you
just talking about the? Right.
No, how do you feel in regards to being judged, right? The young lady, did you watch the video? The young lady said, people prejudge her because she has tattoos. She's a pretty girl, that she automatically must like a certain type of guy, or that she's automatically a certain type of woman.
Yeah, I don't like the prejudge. I get prejudged a lot too. Oh, you tall, you must play basketball. Like, I guess it's a easy thing for people to correlate. But one time it happened and it didn't feel funny. And here goes a racism thing for y'all. So me and my man was going into the bank to go deposit some money, and the two old white ladies was like, "Oh, you guys are tall. You guys play basketball." And we could have taken it like that, but we smiled, laughed it off, and it was just funny. But yeah, they assumed that because of my height. So, and because I'm black, and that's normally what, you look like Kevin Garnett, Michael Jordan. Like, I get that all the time. So the assumption is that I play basketball. I like playing basketball, but I'm not a basketball player. So when it comes to dressing, like, we know if somebody puts on a suit and tie, we would assume they're going for something formal. I mean, they're going something business or funeral or something like that, because that's what happens. If somebody was walking around with an apron on, we assume they're cooking some cookies or something, or they're cook. So there's certain things that cue your brain to think, all right, you got this on, so that's what you do. It's just unfortunate that when people wear certain things or get certain tattoos, that they want to take away that part, that they know, I'm getting these Jordans so I can be fresh. So if that brings that attention to you, people gonna look at your feet, then what the cause and effect is. And I just don't like when people try to separate it when it's convenient. So I don't like that. That's one of my things I don't like. I don't like people to prejudge, and I don't like people to say, oh no, I'm not wearing this dress so people can look at me. Yes, the hell you are.
So right. I'm picking up what you guys is putting down. So the interesting part to that, what up though, balancing? The interesting part to that though, right, is that's on the receiving end. I mean, that's on the person that's receiving the judgment, right? What about the person that's making the judgment? Are they wrong for making the judgment? Because if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, shouldn't I judge it as such? I'm playing devil's advocate. I totally disagree with what I'm saying, but I'm playing devil's advocate.
But that's part of it. That's comes with discernment and judgment and what you actually choose to voice out loud. You can in your head be like, oh, I wonder if she on the strip, if she walking out here back and forth or whatever. But that you would have to know that just because she's dressed like that, that don't mean that's what she's doing. And there's a lot of us that can understand that. Oh, because it looks and quacks like a duck, but nah, it still flies like an eagle because it got these different kind of wings. Like you would just have to know how to read the room on certain things, and that is the problem with a lot of people is that we assume the key word is we all assume that things are what they see or how they sound, and it's not always that. So on the flip side, you can do that. You can assume something, and then somebody will tell you about yourself if you're wrong. But if you assume it to yourself and you were right, you could just have an aha moment to yourself and keep it moving.
But D, I think it goes deeper than an assumption. Because like I said, certain things society tells us that things are one way. We've been groomed that way. So I think it goes deeper than just an assumption. It's almost like if I see something, that's what it is until I make a decision to look further or look deeper into it. You understand what I'm saying? Because some of these, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna ask. I want you to finish your thought, but I'm gonna ask you a question. Go for it, King.
The point I'm just saying, like, because our minds are already trained to see certain things in a certain way, it's far past assumption. We're not assuming at this point. This is what society tells us it is. You know, all of our life we've known this to be true, and then that's that.
Yeah.
So, you know, until we get to know a person and things like that, we'll see that, you know, they're different or whatever, or not to judge the exterior of a person, but we all have prejudices and they're unintentional, because when we see a blue and white soda bottle with no label, we automatically assuming it's Pepsi, right? Because we know that those colors. If we see a soda bottle with a red label, you know, but it's faded out, we're going to make that assumption. Is that really an assumption, or that is just what we know it to be? You understand what I'm saying?
All right, so here's the thing, right? I got to give you pushback on that because you're right, but you're wrong, and I'm gonna show you how, Dad. You're right in regards to the thing, right? But people, we aren't things, right? There's many different complexities. You can be this and you can be that, right? Like you can be that and you can also be this, right? So if unfortunately a can or a thing, I identify a table as a table because that's what I know it to be, right? And that's the labeling of things. But it's a little bit more complex when we're talking about people, because you can be, you know, look at an elephant, right? Elephants are scared of mice, but you would think because they're at least I believe that. They showed us that in cartoons. I don't know if it's true, but you know, the stereotype is elephants are scared of mice, right? And that's the thing, right? Like I can be a man that's tatted up, right? And a Harvard graduate, right? I can have a bachelor's, MBA, and all different types of things, but I could like my pants below my ass. You get what I'm saying? So it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you look like this and you may, Quaysha, what up, Quay? Just because you look like this and you may be like that, it's different. It's different. And I think the thing with the young lady and what she was saying, well, the question I want to ask you guys is, have you ever dated someone who you really liked, but knew your family wouldn't get it? Because that's what she said. She said, people like me, but they don't want to brag about me to their mom or because if they brag to me about, they can't brag to me to their mom because their mom won't understand what a tattoo artist is. The mom won't understand what a successful bartender is. The mom won't understand certain things. So have you ever dated somebody that you like, but you couldn't, they didn't look good on paper, so you know what I mean? As far as sharing what they do for a living, and what was the results of that? Tap in with me. Everybody don't speak at the same time.
I think I've been on that side. I've been on that side for most of my life where I don't know if it was true or not. I think people were proud of me, but at the same time, I think that I used to think that my what I did wasn't stable enough as an entrepreneur because that's when it was like I was I was like I don't know if I was second generation entrepreneurs in America. Like I don't know what you call that, but
Not second
it was
generation.
like yeah, right. Oh, I got that from Amanda. So trying to convince people that yeah, I would be a good catch or a good man, and my financials is good. But I'm in hip hop. Like so, they always thought that they was dating a dude like a rapper or something. I'm not a rapper. I'm a producer, but I own a studio. I gotta get some credit for that. So I used to feel that way. So I know the feeling, and I've dated people that I know I never. My grandmother was kind of like radical in a sense, but I always felt like if I ever did find somebody that I liked and wasn't of what everybody thought I should be with, they wouldn't be accepted. Not for tattoos and all that though, but I don't know. Tattoos on the face back in the days, like Dennis Rodman, that was a little crazy for a woman to have, but nowadays it's regular.
So I've let me tell some of my truths. you know, for me, right? For me, I've dated a colorful bunch. D, I'm laughing at my own jokes. You don't like when people laugh at their own jokes, right? But it's not a joke. Listen, it's a fact. I've dated a colorful bunch, right? But something I've always realized, though, is it's only a problem. Must be nice to be you, Veronica. Veronica said, no, that hasn't ever happened to her. The interesting part is, though, it's only considered out the box. You're only considered an outcast when you're dating somebody that's fitting in the box, that cookie cutter type where, this is the way that it's supposed to go. I've dated both sides, but I found more comfort in dating the type that is a bit obtuse, that's a bit black sheep, because I'm nigga like me be what he said and paid in full. I feel like this. I feel like when you're dating somebody, it should be around the parameter. It shouldn't involve, it should involve being with somebody that's like your type. And what that type is, if you're out the box, D, you're a producer. So you may want to date somebody that's a producer. Or somebody that has their own studio, or somebody that's an entrepreneur. You get what I'm saying? Like when you date somebody that if you're a business person and you're dating somebody that's not a business person, meaning don't own their own business, that's not an entrepreneur, they're not gonna understand you. I'm wrestling with my thoughts to get that out. Be with somebody that's gonna understand you. In order to do that, sometimes you gotta date people that's outside the box. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, I think a lot of times people don't do that. They try to date inside the box and they outside the box, and then they ultimately get crushed. Does that make any sense? Sorry for the ramble. I'm trying to put these thoughts together in real time. How do you guys feel about that?
I understand where you're coming from. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
As far as dating inside the box and all that, but that's typical when it comes to how people were raised. That's typical, and that comes we could talk about race relations when it comes to like inside the box, outside of the box, when it comes to situations like that as well, which is one of the biggest dating issues.
Dad, I
as
got
far
it.
as that goes.
Dad, I got it, Dad. How old are you, Dad? If you don't mind me
I
asking.
just turned 40.
Oh man, shout out to just turning 40. I love it. 40. When you was 30, could you date somebody? No, at 40, do you think, God forbid, you had to be outside in these streets, do you think you could date somebody that's 20?
Not at all.
Why?
What do we have to talk about? Like you my kid's age, like damn man. Like you get what I'm saying? Like I mean we don't 20, no. Like I actually have a friend that's 27, right? And she has everything going for her. She's what it is. She's one of those women that men want or need in their life.
So
You get what
so
I'm saying?
so so
And
so
she's
so
that young doing that.
so follow
But
me,
at
right?
20,
So at 20, at 40, you wouldn't date somebody that was at 20. Follow me. So if you was 50 and she was 30, could you date her then?
yeah,
All right, cool,
possibly,
right?
yeah.
Now, how would you feel about sharing that you're dating a 30-year-old to your family? Would you have any type of fear being judged by way of that? I would.
Um, my family personally, they may say some shit like that, but they know me. And if it's a reason, like my family is the type of family that you just can't bring anybody around that you dating or talking to. You can't bring a random around because once you bring somebody around their family, they take them in. So it's almost an unwritten rule in my family. Like you don't bring randos to the cookout.
Yeah.
If you ain't been with that person or you don't plan on being with that person, you don't bring them to the cookout.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because the family is going to figure like this is who you're trying to be with, and they're going to accept that person. So anybody that I bring in my life, my family is going to accept because they know that they've been vetted like by me. We've been through, enough. So I don't think the age would be an issue in the sense that they may think like, maybe I feel like that person's mature enough for me to date. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think that would be like a super issue.
So here, all right. And the reason why I asked that is because I know I probably would. I would probably be reluctant to date a woman that young. Carisha and Diddy, right? you seen what happened on the Breakfast Club when they asked them, how would you feel if your daughters brought a man home that was 52 or in their 50s or whatever, and they was just in their 30s? You get what I'm saying? Or late 20s, early 30s. He said he would love them as much because they love his daughters or whatever. But we all know that was. I felt at least that was the PC answer because politically correct answer because he's dating Carisha. But none of my business. Moving on. The question that I have for you guys, does seeing a man with a lot of tats make him a bad boy? Or does seeing a woman with her body done makes her does seeing a woman with her body done make her a bad bitch? Take your time, but hurry up. Instagram, I want to see you guys tap in. Clubhouse, tap in with me. YouTube, jump in the comment section. I would love to hear it. Does seeing a man with a lot of tats make him a bad boy? And ladies and fellas, do seeing a woman with her body done mean that she's a bad? You know what I mean by an Instagram chick. You get what I'm saying?
Not at all. I don't agree with that at all. He can have one tattoo, he can have 12, 20, he can be all the way covered up. It does, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. Again, and I said earlier, it's all about the character of the person. I have met people that are fully tattooed, and I mean head and all, and they are some of the sweetest people. They would not hurt a fly. They are so straight laced, quote unquote. But again, that's a part of body expression, and people look at them really funny. They have the piercings and the gauges, and it doesn't mean anything. It's a part of body expression, and people judge them based on that, and I find that so wrong because you never know. You know, your favorite people, doctors, lawyers, and stuff. They could be tatted. You judge them. These are the same people, unfortunately, that say I don't want such and such taking
Yeah.
care of me. But those are the ones that are best equipped to do so. So we have to be careful how we judge.
I have another question I want to ask, and I'm not going to forget it because I wrote it down. Landria, tap in with me. Welcome to the stage, Amanda. We're having a conversation, sort reset. We're having a conversation about looks being deceiving, right? Looks being deceiving. I played the video a moment ago, and you know what? I'm going to play it again. Hold that thought. I'm going to play it again so that everybody can see and know and understand what we're talking about. Live on Broadway podcast. Tap in with us. If you want to see it the way it's meant to be seen, go to my YouTube, Broadway the Giant. Go to my YouTube. And also, while we playing this video and you're watching, hit the like button. You now tapped in with Live on Broadway podcast. You heard? You now listening to Live on Broadway podcast.
Black educated college men act like they too good to date. A lot of
Finally, someone has said it and worded it way better than I ever could have, because I have been saying this with my best friend for the longest now, to where it's like, if you look a certain way, it's like these men act like they are just like, it's always this certain look of female that they'll actually date and wife, because I guess they attribute it to like, oh, nice girl next door looking, like she won't possibly do this or that, she looks good on paper, I can bring her around family, this and a third, and she has the look, she has a very safe look. And myself and my best friend always talk about the fact that we feel as though, because we have tattoos, I'm very tatted, y'all can't see it now, but I have a lot of tattoos, because we are tatted and have more of like a, I'm not gonna say like, I'm trying to find the right way to say it, I don't know, anyway, because we don't have that girl next door look, men consistently try to fun girl us. These college educated men, it's always them. Like when it comes to like they always assume that we only like hood guys, that they assume that they know our type, and they don't even give us a chance. Because me personally, I like college educated men. I went to college and that's just what I like. I like nerds. I like fine nerds. I like squares. But these men always assume that my type is like, oh, I see she's tatted, she like hood niggas. That's like, and I'm just like, why do y'all keep doing that? And then not only keep doing that, but then you keep trying to put us in this fun girl category. And the fun girl is this category where it's like, I enjoy having fun with you, but I would never wife you. You don't have the look of somebody that I would consider a wife. And it's like, what does a wife look like? Because just because somebody looks like your girl next door does not mean she's a good person. It's not mean that she's automatically educated. Me personally, in a nice way, I make a lot more than a lot of the girls that they consider like, oh, like successful and stable and have like this great image. But I don't work a job that is like conventional, to where it's like, oh, well, I can brag about what kind of job she has. So they just always want to fun girl me. And I'm tired of people assuming that I like a certain type of guy and wanting to fun girl me, because personally, I want a family and commitment and a relationship and all of those things. I want to get married. And I'm tired of people assuming that because of my look that I'm a fun girl. I know how to have fun, but don't stop fun girling me.
Balancing Code said no one can fun girl you without your consent. Balancing Code said no one can fun girl you without your consent. I want to say it again. Balancing Code said no one can fun girl you unless you are offering your consent. Hello. Stand in front of that. Let's wake that up. You can flip it and bounce it however you want to do it, but unless you offering consent to it, baby, baby, it's going to be a no for me, dog. You get what I'm saying? It's not worth it. Let's put that up there. She said it's not worth it. I wouldn't wear colorful wigs. What she said? I wouldn't wear colorful wigs, loud makeup, and tight clothes. Talking about I'm looking to be a wife. I like that she said that, because it raises the bar a little bit, right? It raises the bar a little bit. But here's the thing with that though, balancing. If you're looking to be received just for the job you want, right? That means if you want a man that's gonna be a certain thing, then you should be doing a certain thing. If you want a woman that's gonna be doing a certain thing, then you should be doing a certain thing. You get what I'm saying? So for me personally, personally, dress for the job you want. Don't wait to get the job, then start dressing and behaving and playing the role. You get what I'm saying? So I like what you said though. I like what she said. I like what she said. Is anybody offering any resistance to what Balancing said? I love. I'm putting this back up there. I love that she said that. Tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. God damn it, how you guys feel? Amanda, how you feel, Queen? She like Broadway. Oh man. Can we just get Amye back? Can we get Amye? No, we can't. We can't. We can't. No, we can't. We can't get Amber Rose and Kanye back together. No, we can't. I like them two together. I like them together. Got me? They fit in well. Shit, they both obtuse. But listen, oh man, I had said something here. I can't. I don't know it. I don't know it. I'll find it in a second. But I feel like opposites attract, and we know that they do. Hence the reason why you have, the good girls like the bad guys. Very few and far in between. The women are looked at to be the bad girls, like in the good guys. I've seen this shit. I got this shit happening in my family right now. It happens though. Opposites attract. Opposites attract. Let's open up the platform and the stage for final thoughts. Tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Hit that like button. Let's make this chat a little colorful. Drop your super chats on YouTube. Drop your super chats. Instagram, y'all know the vibes. Tap in with us and hit that cash app. Please show your social support by liking this video on YouTube. Hit that like button. Tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. Final thoughts. Let's go around the room. Tap in with us, Allison. Final thoughts.
So, I mean, what was said was basically a mic drop. There's nothing else that could possibly follow that. But what I will say is that we need to, as people, as men and women, as a collective, figure out what we don't want, and then we will find what we want. A lot of times in dating, you tell the potentials, oh, I don't like a man that does X, Y, and Z, or I want a man to do X, Y, and Z. Don't say that. Tell them, what you don't want, and let's see how they behave. That basically cancels them out if they do exactly what you said you don't want, because that means they weren't listening anyway. So
Not the reverse psychology.
Right. It definitely makes sense to do so. And then, you have vetted. That's a part of your vetting process, and you cancel them out and move on. So be cognizant in what you want. Get to know yourself. Trust me, it works. I am a living testament of that.
Wake that up. Appreciate that, Allison. YouTube viewership. Leave your final thoughts in the comment section. We're going to get it up there and we're going to read it out. Laundry, final thoughts, Queen. Final thoughts.
Being that I'm someone that I feel like I'm judged prior to like having a conversation, I think I'm just used to that happening to me. So like, because I'm super tall and dark skinned and everything, I feel like sometimes I'm put into a box being angry even before I open my mouth. So for me, I have to be softer. But I feel like as a woman, like we are versatile. So if you like that person said about, you can only be labeled a fun girl if you consent to that. I agree with that, because at the end of the day, if you are making yourself one dimensional and that's all you are, when you can be so many other things, many other things, thank you, then that's what you're going to be seen as. So, there's more to us as women than just being one aspect of anything. And I think that, maybe she should explore more of herself, because if that's all that someone is seeing, then she has to look deeper within herself too. And that's all I have to say.
Got it. I like it. Thank you for that. King Dat, one time. Final thoughts, King.
Yo, yeah. Listen, man. I don't prejudge people, man. You know, I don't take people at face value. I don't read the cover. You know, I open the book first because I know, you know, what my life has been like and how it's happened to be throughout my life. So I understand what judgment does, like, you know, to people before you get to know them. But like I said, situations is not by choice. It's just something I have to adapt to and I have to deal with. But just be careful, you know, what bait you dangle out there because it always determines what fish you're gonna catch. That's that.
Shit. This bait that I'm dangling out there, let me tell you, get that, you know, let me. Oh God, I'm going. Guess who's going to jail tonight? Moti, are you by your mic, King? Moti, are you by your mic? Final thoughts. Going once, going twice. Moti, be quiet. He be the silent assassin, just listening. Balancing. I'm gonna kick your ass. Amanda, final thoughts.
Yeah, thank you. So I'd say my final thoughts, and I came late, but just in general, I agree with the ladies that were speaking. And as women, I think we're definitely judged a lot by our looks. So I will say, you know, before I became what I'd call maybe a strict academic, and I didn't necessarily look the part, but I had that mentality.
Yeah.
I was judged on how I would dress and, you know, carry myself the whole 9 yards. Now I try to, you know, look that part and whatever, and I'll tell you, I get judged a whole different way, like I'm boring or I'm this or that, so it kind of like backfires. So I would say for us women, it's hard because, you know, when you're very, you know, you're diverse, you can be fun, you could be, you know, social, but you could also be academic and do everything, but you're pretty much judged by how you're dressed.
True.
So us women just have that issue. But I guess it's just my final thought is we just got to be us, do what we got to do, you know, dress how you want to dress, and that's it. And if people want to judge that, you know, that's on them. They're going to miss out, is how I think of it.
Yeah. Wake that all the way up. I like it. All right, so here's the thing, right? Final thoughts on Broadway. He who judged first, he who judged will be judged first. Wake that up. He who judged will be judged first. I'm going to throw out some names. If you know, you know. Kalani, YG, Amber Rose, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Future, Ciara, Russell Wilson. The list can go on and on and on. They outside the box. They've all dated people that didn't fit the mold. Some were successful, some weren't. I shared this earlier. What up, though, King? I shared this earlier. I'm going to share it again, right, on the pod. I don't particularly like to judge people. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you're so far removed and you don't know what's going on, I shared earlier I told you guys earlier, right, where sometimes when you don't live on a day-to-day with somebody, it's hard to see who they are. It's hard to make a proper assessment and figure out what's going on. Why is that? Because you don't know them. I shared this earlier. Somebody learned me something. I was having a conversation and we was talking and I was like, sure, what I would do, I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that. And they said, nah, you can't do that. Don't do that. I said, why? They said, well, because when you do that, you don't know why and how and what a person had to go through to get to where they are. You don't know that. And when you judge and when you make these assessments when at so far of a distance, you can't see and make a proper assessment because you don't know. And even if The caveat is, even if you were that close, you still wouldn't know. Because until you've actually done it, you don't know what's going on the inside. Here's a great example. If I wanted to, let me use D. D not here. Okay, I'm gonna use him anyway. If I wanted to open up a studio, right? And I said, yo, D, look the way D do his studio. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that, right? It would be unfair for me to say that. Because I don't know what it is to run a studio. And people do that a lot with people. You judge them. It's easy to judge. But like I said, he who judged should be the first to be judged. Will be the first to be judged. Now, sometimes, if I remember this skit on Raekwon, I think it was Wu-Tang album, Papa Wu, he said, if you had a chance to flip yourself on the inside out and look at yourself, you probably die. Now, a lot of people took that literally. When I heard it when I was a kid, I didn't take it literally. I took it figuratively, and I understood exactly what he was saying. Sometimes if you have a chance to look at yourself from the outside looking in, but it's you probably spill over and die. Because you're so nasty. We can be some nasty human beings and placing judgment on things and people where it doesn't belong. Now, this young lady, who is she? I don't know. She got the eyebrows done. Let's go back to that. Let me bring that up real quick. She got how you go? How you play this? All right, here you go. She got just look at that. She got the highlights. She look like she got 4 ring lights on every part of her face. She got the Brazilian curly lace front, whatever you want to call this hair. She got it. She got her nails done. She look like she either got contacts in or she got green eyes, gray eyes, something. And she says she tatted. It's easy to look at someone like this and judge them. Is it fair? Nah, not at all. Because we all got some shit with us. I know this is a long-winded way of me leaving my final thoughts. But we all got some shit with us. Every single one of us. I'll say this, man. It's easy to judge, but hard to look in. What I said, it's easy to judge, but it's hard to look within and see yourself for who you are. That takes some accounting. Live on Broadway podcast. Yes, balancing. I'm back on my bullshit. We doing more lives, and yeah, we'll talk and figure out how we could do the live together. I would love. You guys know if you guys got situationships. If you guys, perhaps personally, I'm tapping into you. I'm talking to you, the viewership, the listenership, anybody that's within the sound of my voice. What I'm about to say directly applies to you. So listen to what I'm about to say. If you have anything that's going on, you want to DM me, hit me in the back channel on Clubhouse, DM me on Instagram, IM_Broadway. I think it's like right here somewhere, over here. Okay, it's there, go right there. All right, so and share your stories. I respect people's anonymity. We've been doing it like this for years. I love it. Tap in with me, share your situation with me, tell me not to get Broadway all in your business, but so that we can share with the Giants, because sometimes we feel like we be feeling some sort of way about things, and people, I think Natasha said that's gaslighting. When you feel some sort of way about something and you know you right, but somebody try to convince you that it's other, right? That's gaslighting. Do I got that right, Clubhouse? That's gaslighting. That's the definition of it. Hello? Anybody? No? Nobody knows what gaslighting means? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, cool. So sometimes we be feeling some sort of way about things and our relationships and our families and just our business, our travels. Tap in with me. I'm him. I am. Hit me in the DM and let me know what's going on. If you listen to us on the podcast, please tap in with me and send me a DM or something. I mind my business. I don't put your business out there. I mean, I can put your business out there, but I respect your anonymity because, to be honest with you, a lot of these topics that we do speak about, they be about you guys, but nobody else knows. You get what I'm saying? And I like it this way. I like it that way. Tap in with us live on Broadway podcast. Y'all know my vibe. Y'all know my body. It's always cheaper to be yourself. Be giant. You heard? Pool.
Clip.
Do you have relationship questions you need answered? Spicy topics? DM us at Live on Broadway Podcast. Have music, products, or an ad you want us to run? Email us at Live on Broadway Podcast. Be sure to tap in. Mondays, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live on IM_Broadway's Instagram. Clear.
And like